Hi guys, I'm doing my presentation on digital games and incorporating them in the classroom. And I want to start off why incorporate digital games in your classroom. I found three really good reasons. You can track your students over time and their progress with a lot of these games. Personalizing education, and also they let students learn different topics at different speeds, which I think that's a huge benefit to using games, um, especially individualized games. So I also was reading a study done by the University of Michigan. It was done in 2015, and it said that 57% of teachers polled said they use digital games at least weekly, which is actually a higher number than I was expecting. But these teachers were allowed, like through these games, they're allowed to see how their students were doing and understanding the material before they got to the big test at the end, and so they were able to give more attention to students who needed it or needed more attention. That kind of goes back to learning at different speeds a little bit. Um, and so this is formative testing instead of just learning material all the way up until the end test and then testing students. And so these are some great benefits for incorporating digital games. It also grabs students' attention, as I have in the top, and it also encourages cooperative learning, especially when you have games in the classroom, teams against teams, cooperative learning, and also um, helps to develop communication between students. So I divided the digital games up into two categories. Tools that teachers can use to create their own games for the class or inside class. This is where students can participate in teams or individually. A lot of like games, digital games can just be used through or accessed through iPads and or phones. And then the other tools are apps or websites um, that students can access. And they're focused on different grade levels and different subjects. So there are so many resources on the internet. And we already covered a lot in our weekly tools. Um, so I just found a few others that I thought were very useful. So um, we can start here with other tools. One website I really like is Duolingo for foreign language. Let's see if I have it pulled up already. Yes, I do. So Duolingo is a website created for pretty much all ages, I would say. Maybe not elementary school, but if you type up Duolingo, it's really easy to make an account. And um, the whole entire website is just games within the language, and there's a wide variety of languages here, as you can see. So I'm just going to do Spanish. Spanish here. Um, and so if you start with basics, you have a lesson, and then it's all, see, this could be used for actually probably elementary school. It depends, I would say, because they do have pictures. I think there's some levels where you can take out the pictures, but language is the only way to really remember it and use it is to always practice it, or have a way to use it, and so
El niño.
it was really cool because it says the word, and so this is really cool because you can track your progress really easily, and it has um, it has really cool features like streaks, like how many days you've practiced your Spanish or your language that you're doing, and also um, the lessons are really fun. Um, they're all games, and I think this could be used definitely in high school and probably in college. So we're going back to other tools that I wanted to go over. Um, for coding, I think coding is this website, alice.org, is great because you actually can make your own games. Uh, so you can actually build your own games, but it's also geared towards kids. And with math and coding, probably the best way to learn it is to use it or to try it. And so this is cool because you can play games but also create your own games, and students can go at their own pace. With coding especially, it's pretty important in the 21st century. Um, you can get ahead by just knowing a little bit of coding. So this would be a good tool for students, probably middle school students though. Um, and I mean high schoolers can use it too. It is probably for younger students. There's a lot of websites. I don't know about you, but I definitely played Fun Brain games when I was younger or when I was in elementary school. And there's a lot of cool lessons that are already created on it. This is Alex. Here's a page. So this is actually through FunBrain, but it's for math, elementary and middle school. But it's really cool because it has lessons already created that you could play games. So if you're learning about subtraction, they go through. There's 27 subtraction lessons on here for this grade. And what's great, I love this, is that they adjust the difficulty as you go on. So again, going back to students who learn at different levels. So this does require a parent's email address and password, which might be an obstacle in the classroom. A lot of these tools you could use in the classroom, but I kind of see them as outside resources. The benefits of these are that you can use them. You could use them in the classroom if everyone had an iPad. Something that happened in my high school, at least, is that we were kind of limited on resources, and so a lot of the games that we played were more focused, like team games that the teacher created, and so I have tools that teachers can use to create their own games. Obviously, Jeopardy. There are a lot of templates online to create your own Jeopardy game. Those are good reviews right before a test. Also, I have Kahoot up here, which I'm sure a lot of people have used. I'm going to do a demo of Kahoot because I made my own. So Kahoot is cool because you can either make your own quizzes for the class, or you can look up ones that have already been created. So we're just going to play my quick little survey. Another thing is that with Kahoot, you can have, if you do have the resources, if you have iPads or all kids have cell phones in their class. You can play everyone against each other, 1v1, or you can do team. And teams, emphasize collaboration, and I'm just going to do the classic, the 1v1, since it's just me. Okay, so when it pops up, you just have your class, or the teams in the class, enter in this code. And so I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't show it on like what the phone screen looks like on this computer. My other computer died, so I'm just gonna type it into my phone here, and so then you can see your players. So Megan here, that's me. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. So, okay, so start. So this is just a 2-question survey. And so on here, it says, have you ever used Kahoot before? And there's a yes button and a no button on my phone that is exactly like the question on the screen. And so the screen you can project up to the class. And what's really cool about this is that it shows the results for the class. If I was asking a question, a survey, and the majority of the class got it right, you could see how many in the class got the right answer or the wrong answer. There's no real right answer here. Would you use this tool in your classroom? So this is cool because it's a competitive game for students to use. And again, I really like this because this tool allows you, it can be used for so many different subjects. Math, Spanish, or like foreign language, whatever you want really. And as long as you have the tools, like you have the iPads or the phones to connect to it, it's relatively accessible. And so that's all I have for my presentation. I think one of the most important things is that these digital games can be used for helping students learn along the way. I think that formative assessment is really important, before you get to the end of your unit, knowing if students need additional help. The one resource that I thought was really cool is FunBrain, and so if you want, you can go just type in funbrain.com and then go Kid Center, or just funbrain.com. And they actually organize it out for you by grade or by subject. So whatever you're interested in teaching. They have a wide variety. So I went to by subject, and I'm interested in math, geometry, and they break it down pretty well, I think. Alright, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching.